A big win for President Trump, for America, and for parents today in the Supreme Court. That's our top story. Thanks for watching Spin Room on this Friday. I'm Vanessa Broussard. We start with the first Supreme Court ruling. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 today that nationwide district judge injunctions likely exceed the equitable authority that Congress has given to federal courts. Justice Amy Barrett has the opinion granting the Trump administration's request for a partial stay. In the Birthright citizenship case, they ruled not on merits, but on whether a universal injunction is permitted. So what does this mean? Well, according to Colonel Conrad Reynolds, a friend here of Lindell TV, it means this, that judges can only issue injunctions that apply to the specific plaintiffs in a case, not to everyone else in the country. Reynolds says while the ruling does not directly address the constitutionality of Trump's executive order targeting birthright citizenship, it has major implications for how such policies can be challenged and temporarily blocked in court. So basically, these rogue district judges, they've gone too far. Here's Attorney General Pam Bondi's reaction. She posted this. Today, the Supreme Court instructed district courts to stop the endless barrage of nationwide injunctions against President Trump. This would not have been possible without tireless work from our excellent lawyers, the Justice Department, and Solicitor General John Sauer. This Department of Justice will continue to zealously defend POTUS's policies and his authority to implement them. President Trump held a news conference following the ruling. Here's his reaction.
This morning, the Supreme Court has delivered a monumental victory for the Constitution, the separation of powers, and the rule of law in striking down the excessive use of nationwide injunctions to interfere with the normal functioning of the executive branch. The Supreme Court has stopped the presidency itself. That's what they've done. And really, it's been an amazing period of time this last hour. There are people elated all over the country. I've seen such happiness and spirit. Sometimes you don't see that, but this case is very important. I was elected on a historic mandate, but in recent months we've seen a handful of radical left judges effectively try to overrule the rightful powers of the president to stop the American people from getting the policies that they voted for in record numbers. It was a grave threat to democracy, frankly, and instead of merely ruling on the immediate cases before them, these judges have attempted to dictate the law for the entire nation. In practice, this meant that if any one of the nearly 700 federal judges disagreed with the policy of a duly elected president of the United States, he or she could block that policy from going into effect or at least delay it for many years, tie it up in the court system. This was a colossal abuse of power which never occurred in American history prior to recent decades, and we've been hit with more nationwide injunctions than were issued in the entire 20th century together. Think of it, more than the entire 20th century, me. I'm grateful to the Supreme Court for stepping in and solving this very, very big and complex problem, and they've made it very simple. I want to thank Justice Barrett, who wrote the opinion brilliantly, as well as Chief Justice Roberts, and Justices Alito, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Thomas. Great people.
That was the first ruling. Then a second ruling was handed down today. In that ruling, the Supreme Court says parents can pull children from public school lessons that use LGBTQ storybooks. Another huge win. Here's the president's reaction to that ruling.
Sir, on the transgender ruling, the Supreme Court ruling that parents with religious objections can pull their kids out of public school lessons that use LGBTQ materials. Pam brought it up. Your reaction to that ruling today, sir?
I think the ruling was a great ruling, and I think it's a great ruling for parents. It's really a ruling for parents. They lost control of the schools. They lost control of their child. And this is a tremendous victory for parents. And I'm not surprised by it, but I am surprised that it went this far. It took us to bring life back to normal. So it's wonderful. It's parental. And I kept saying, we will give you back your parental rights. They were taken away, and this is a tremendous victory for parents. Yeah.
A great way to end the week for MAGA, for parents and the country. Our Kara Castronova was inside the Oval Office and she was able to ask the president about political persecution of him and his family in the past. Take a listen to this exchange.
Red dress.
On the 2020 election, is there any more information on the special prosecutor? So many Americans still have questions about the 2020 election. And speaking of rogue judges, would you consider appointing somebody at DOJ maybe to investigate the judges that allowed for the political persecution of you, your family, and your supporters during the Biden administration?
I love you. Who are you?
I'm Kara from Lindell TV.
Well, it's just a very nice question. And it's not a setup. I have no idea who you are, but I appreciate that question. All I can say is we're not here for that. I hope so. I hope they're doing a thing because that election was rigged and stolen, and we can't allow that to happen. You know, a lot of people tell me, sir, you just won the greatest election in the history of our country. You won at numbers that won all 7 swing states, won the popular vote, won everything. Sir, go on with your life. And many people that say that, good people, friends of mine, then you have people that say that same thing, go on with your life, but you have to find out what happened because you can't let that happen again. Look at what this lunatic did. Look at what he did. He opened our borders to people that were murderers, 11,888 to be exact, murderers, and we've captured many of those murderers, and we're bringing them back, or some of them are so dangerous that we don't even want to bring them back. We're afraid they're going to try and come back in. But he allowed people to come into this country, people from mental institutions, insane asylums, that's a mental institution on steroids, people from mental institutions, gang members, drug dealers, people, jails being emptied out into our country. Venezuela emptied out almost its entire prison population into our country. But I don't want to blame them. Many countries have done that. The Congo, you know, we have a great press conference coming up later, and it's the Congo and Rwanda. You know, they were fighting for years, and it was machetes, it was vicious, it was as vicious, people's heads being chopped off. And I have a man who's very good in that part of the world, very smart, and put them together, and we're signing a peace treaty today. First time in many years they're going to have peace, and it's a big deal. You know, we talk about Russia, and we're working that one. President Putin called up and he said, I'd love to help you with Iran. I said, do me a favor, I'll handle Iran. Help me with Russia, we got to get that one settled. And I think something's going to happen there. But we did some great work. India and Pakistan, that was going to be maybe nuclear. We did that. We did a lot of work. I don't know if there's ever been a president that's done much more. Serbia, Kosovo was going to go at it, going to be a big war. I said, you go at it. There's no trade with the United States. They said, well, maybe we won't go at it. That's what happened with India and Pakistan.
The president wrapping up that press conference, and at this time he is meeting with the foreign ministers of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and the Republic of Rwanda. That's taking place right now, and we'll have coverage of that later today here on Lindell TV and also on our social media accounts. Another big day, big news on Wall Street. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P were sitting in the green today. I think the NASDAQ is down just a little bit right now, but that's okay. Look at the Dow at this hour, up 230 points. The S&P 500 up 1 point. And we're keeping an eye on the NASDAQ as we close out the work week. And out with the woke, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announces that the United States Navy is renaming the USNS Harvey Milk to the USNS Oscar V. Peterson. Here's more on Hegseth's plans to take politics out of ship naming.
Well, I'm pleased to officially announce that the Department of the Navy is renaming the Fleet Replenishment Oiler, formerly known as the USNS Harvey Milk, to the USNS Oscar V. Peterson. We are taking the politics out of ship naming. We're not renaming the ship to anything political. This is not about political activists, unlike the previous administration. Instead, we're renaming the ship after a United States Navy Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, as it should be. People want to be proud of the ship they're sailing in. And so we're renaming it after a chief, a Navy chief. That during the Battle of the Coral Sea in May of 1942, Chief Water Tender Peterson led a repair party on the USS Neosho. The ship was severely damaged by Japanese dive bombers, and the entire repair party was either killed or severely wounded. Peterson himself was gravely wounded, yet he managed to single-handedly close the bulkhead stop valves, thereby helping to keep the ship operational. In performing his historic actions and heroic actions, Peterson received additional injuries and burns, which tragically resulted in his death. But his spirit of self-sacrifice and concern for his crewmates was in keeping with the finest traditions of the Navy. And for his heroic actions, Oscar Peterson was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. So I would like to officially welcome the USNS Oscar V. Peterson to the Navy's Vessel Register.
Now to our Maha Moms segment for today. Today we're focusing on mental health. Dr. Mehmet Oz explains how it's crucial in your overall health to really take care of yourself. Take a listen.
Fellas, since June is Men's Mental Health Month, I wanted to take a second to remind you that mental health is crucial to your overall health, so don't neglect it. At your next checkup, take time to talk about any mental health challenges you may be facing. Preventive screenings and regular health care are vital so you can live a long and healthy life and be there for the people you care about. And remember, mental health can change over time, so it's important to continuously check in with your doc about how you're feeling, especially if you're feeling lonely, isolated, or empty. Both Medicare and many ACA insurance plans cover services to support your mental health. Check out the preventive care covered by your plan and stay well.
It's important to take control of how you're feeling. Nearly 1 billion people worldwide, they live with a mental health disorder. And if you break down those numbers, that's 1 in about 8 people. So many of them go untreated. So don't go untreated. Call a healthcare professional today. Don't wait. They can help, whether it's for you or your children. And we have more to talk about here on Spin Room when we come back. A big event coming to Florida, and Blexit is inviting you. We'll talk more about it next.
Swollen limbs, joint pain, inflammation, skin aging, and cognitive decline. These are just a few of the awful side effects that you can experience due to poor blood circulation. And popping ibuprofen is not a solution to the pain. It's only temporary relief, and it's only masking the true problem, which is inflammation. Researchers are saying to add this Antarctic super nutrient to your diet. I'm talking about omega-3 fatty acids, but not just any form of omegas. These particular omega-3 fatty acids are sourced from wild-caught krill. Has been shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, as well as reduce inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. For a limited time, you can grab Native Path Antarctic Krill Oil for up to 66% off plus free shipping. Just go to getkrill.com/Lindell right now to get your special offer.
Florida is about to be rocking this summer. Blexit is hosting a huge event next month in Tampa. We're joined today by Tanya Gorman. Tanya, so good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great down here in the Sunshine State.
Yes, I know it's beautiful there. And next month, it's going to be even more beautiful because Blexit is hosting a huge event, a liberation show. Tell us about it.
Oh my gosh, you guys, this liberation show is absolutely amazing. It has amazing speakers. It has passionate debates of the mind, liberal versus conservative. We have drum lines, we have rappers, we have poets. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You don't want to miss this.
And let's talk about the guest speakers that you have scheduled for this event.
Oh, yes.
Who all do you have lined up? I know we have a photo to show everyone at home. It's a great lineup,
Absolutely.
Tanya. Who do we have?
Oh my gosh. First, we're starting off with Brandon Tatum. He's absolutely wonderful and fabulous. He's our co-founder here at Blexit. Then we have Pierre Wilson, our wonderful senior director, who has shaped the vision for us all this way that we've come here with Blexit, our organization. Of course, we have Congresswoman Nancy Mace. You all know and love her. She has done so many good works in South Carolina. Pastor John Emenchukwu, need we say more about the school board? He's absolutely amazing. Vince Ellison, the truth bearer, that's what I call him. He brings the truth, raw and unfiltered. You won't leave there trying to figure out what's fact or fiction, right? Peyton Jackson, she just went viral for one of her assessments on Black America to the leftist community out there who thinks they dominate everything. Anthony Watson, he's a special contributor to TPUSA. Topher, great creative. He's an amazing rapper, influencer. Savannah Craven, also great speaker. She's coming in, as you know, she just recently got attacked during a interview by a leftist, I don't want to say the word crazy nutbag. And Savannah's doing great now, and she's coming to be with us. We have Gothics. She's an absolutely amazing influencer from the Northeast. You know, that's a tough area. We have Kid Friendly, who is from Arizona, bringing some of his poetry. Lou Valentino, great influencer. April Chapman will be doing a great interview with Pierre Wilson, our senior director. Grace Glass will be having a debate. She'll be the moderator between, and I think you might put that graphic up later. She'll be our moderator, and Rakita Harper and DJ Burton are our special performers. So this is a jam-packed, high-energy event you don't want to miss.
It is jam-packed, and it looks like a lot of high energy. Tanya, you had me at rappers, and I know Blexit targets the younger generation, and so I'm loving the movement that we're seeing from these musicians and these rappers who are all coming on board in the conservative movement.
It's absolutely amazing. When I came into Blexit in 2020, there was such a need for changing our culture. That is something that we espouse here at Blex. It's part of our mission, changing the narrative, changing the culture, especially within minority America, where we have the Cardi B's and the Sexy Reds, and it's that hip hop culture that we talk about that everybody's aspiring to. Well, why aren't we aspiring to our culture, what we know, to go back to where we came from, to bring wholesome entertainment and family values, to talk about our faith, God, and our country? And this is what artists like Topher and Rakita Harper and so many more bring to the table, and we're so blessed to have them on our Liberation Show.
I am so excited too. And so, you just talked about the speakers, great lineup, can't wait for that. But there's also something called Battle of Ideas that's going to be taking place. What is the Battle of Ideas?
The Battle of Ideas is a way for us to bring the conversation to the community. That is what our focus is here at Blexit. It's bringing that conversation to the minority community and going, hey, there is two distinct ideologies here in our country, and let's talk about them. Let's have an open, candid conversation so that everybody can be aware of both sides. Because here on our side, of course, the right side, right? Our conversation, I just don't want you to believe I'm right. I want you to know and see and define the concepts around both ideologies. So here at the Liberation Show, we have Marie Mott and we have Louis Reed that are standing for the liberal side, and then we have Gothics and Brandon Tatum standing for the conservative side. And they're going to talk about a plethora of topics like DEI, abortion, income. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to see which side comes out on top. And I guarantee you, I think I know who, but I'm just going to let the crowd decide.
Right, absolutely. And so, and that's great too, Tanya, because you get to have a conversation from two different viewpoints, and it's cordial, and that's how it should be across America, because people battle all the time against politics. You know how it is. People lose friends and family members over it. But for the younger generation to go there and see, it's okay to have different opinions. Let's just meet together and come up with a great solution together, because that's the way it should be. Let's come to the table, discuss it, and come up with an outcome together.
100%. I totally agree with you. I think we have spent the last 4 years infighting. I don't like this ideology. Your concept doesn't work for me. But if we come and we talk about it and we actually have a full spectrum, we may not agree on everything. But what we do find is that there is a middle ground, which we were told, the last 4 years, it's either this or that, but that's not necessarily true. And the more we talk about it, the more we can embrace each other and figure out that there is a way that we do want to help minority America together. We may differ on a lot of concepts, but there are some concepts we do agree on, and that is the truth. And that's how we need to proceed forward with these conversations for everything surrounding both sides.
Absolutely, and I love the word you used, embrace, because that's what it's all about. Okay, so this event's happening next month. I'm excited about it. Can't wait for it. How can people sign up? If they're watching right now and they want to know more, and if they're wanting to travel the country, great. But if you're living in Florida, that's just an easy car drive, day trip away to Tampa. So tell us how people can get involved and sign up.
Absolutely. Go to Blexit.com. As soon as you enter our site, you will see the Liberation Show thumbnail pop up, and you go ahead and click right on there, and you could get in there and get your tickets. Tickets are only $3 for adults, $2 for children. We welcome everyone to come. This is not just about Minority America. It's about all of us, because we can't row this ship alone. So I urge you all to go to Blexit.com and get your tickets today before they sell out. You don't want to miss this.
No, and so let's go back a little bit and talk about Blexit. We hit on it just a little bit a moment ago, but I want to tell people more. I was just looking at that video, and I love the slogan you use on a lot of your websites and social medias. We are victors. What is the reasoning behind that slogan, we are victors?
The reasoning behind that slogan is because for so long in Minority America, they've been made to believe that they are victims. So why are we victims when we live in the greatest nation in the whole entire world? Why are we victims when we have such opportunities? We are victors. We are here to overcome. We are overcomers. And if you are born in Christ, you are overcomer. So that's period. But we are not going to believe that in Blexit. You are victorious at all times. And we believe in entrepreneurship, getting yourself out of that economic dependence. We believe in the nuclear family, which today that's subjective, I guess, in, the leftist terms. We believe in, showing that we are part of school choice and making better choices for our children for the future. And we also believe in sharing our faith, family, and freedom. So that's Blexit's mission in a nutshell.
I love it. And for parents watching at home, if they want to get their children involved, how can they get involved with Blexit?
Absolutely. We have local chapters in all 50 states. I urge you all to go on Blexit.com, join a chapter, and be a part of this movement, because this is a movement that is not stopping. We are coming like a freight train, and if you better get on it, because it's going to be going fast. And this is a movement that is going to propel the nation towards greatness.
Absolutely it is. Love Blexit, love everything that you stand for and everything that you're doing all over the country. I know you have different events being held throughout the year all over, and it's just fun to follow what you're doing and seeing the younger generation get involved. And again, the music industry, I'm so big on the music industry, Tanya, because everyone turns on the radio when they get in the car, right? And you just hear, for lack of better terms, filthy music. And then you go to your cell phone and you see filthy dancing at concerts, and this is what our kids see. So when we have these rappers and singers going to these events that can be role models for our children who are conservative and pure, that's what we need to teach our children to follow, or these type of artists. So I love what you're doing at Blexit. Good luck on your event next month. I know it's going to be a huge success, and you're always welcome, Tanya, anytime to come back here on Lindell TV. We'd love to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Bye. And today's Bible verse of the day comes from the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. It says this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. I thought this was a great verse to share as we head into the weekend. Go and share love. And as a reminder, before we wrap up real quick, support Mike Lindell in his efforts as he continues to fight for election integrity here in America. I know that next week he'll be heading to Washington, D.C. in his fight. You know, he just had a trial in Colorado, which he was mostly successful, but he does have an appeals process to go to on part of the trial. So help Mike in that fight if you can. Go to mypillowtrial.com. Donate anything you can. We see people donating $5 all the way up to $1,000 plus. And we appreciate every single dollar because our future depends on it. So if you can, give today. mypillowtrial.com. Another way you can help support Mike is going to mypillow.com. The big box stores canceled Mike years ago. And so it was the American people who came through and has kept, the people at home watching right now, you have kept him in business, and we are so appreciative of that. So if you can go to mypillow.com, I'll give you my promo code. It's Vanessa. Type that in for extra savings and enjoy your weekend shopping away. Lots of new products as we scroll down the screen right here. You can see the energy drink. Mike's My Cross is a huge hit. So many different sales going on right now as well. Get extra savings with the promo code Vanessa. And that'll do it for us here today on Spin Room. Join us at the top of the hour for the Mike Lindell Show. In the meantime, His Glory is next. You're watching Lindell TV.
The last time President Trump was in office, gold soared 50% and silver went up a huge 53%. Americans who invested in silver and gold during Donald Trump's first presidency are very happy that they did it. And right now, gold continues to soar to the highest numbers in history. These gains are just an appetizer for what's to come. Some market analysis are saying that gold is predicted to rise another 30% in the next year alone. So now's the time to invest in gold and silver, and that's why I partnered with Fisher Liberty Gold. Fisher Liberty Gold is a conservative-owned and operated precious metals investment company. They even helped my good friend President Trump get elected through their contributions to Turning Point USA and other conservative groups. I have dedicated my life to ensuring that people get the best sleep ever, and in addition to owning a MyPillow, I can now sleep well at night knowing that you can all protect your savings with precious metals with Fisher Liberty Gold. With Fisher Liberty Gold, you can sleep well knowing that your retirement is secure. And if you call now, you're going to receive your very own presidential gold guide and qualify for up to $20,000 in free silver. But wait, there's more. Call now or text metals to 26786 to receive your presidential gold guide from Fisher Liberty. And for a limited time, I will send you a free MyPillow for qualified accounts. This presidential gold guide from Fisher Liberty will tell you exactly why you need to own gold even while Donald Trump is president. And just by calling in, you get a free MyPillow for a limited time for qualified accounts and up to $20,000 in free silver. So don't wait. Call 1-888-4GOLD-19 or text metals to 26786 today. That's 1-888-4GOLD-19 or text metals to 26786 today to receive your free MyPillow and up to $20,000 in free silver.